This is your NOAA weather radio station KEC63 in Detroit, Michigan, operating on a frequency of 162.550 megahertz. Programming originates from the National Weather Service Office in Pontiac, Michigan. You're listening to Detroit Weather Radio, and here are the afternoon observations. In Detroit, it was mostly cloudy, with the temperature was 61 degrees, the dew point was 68, with a moderate humidity of 62%. The wind was southwest at 6 miles per hour. The pressure was 29.89 and rising. Observations from around the region. It was partly cloudy, with a temperature of 70 at Cleveland, 72 at Buffalo, 69 in Toledo, 72 at Grand Rapids, and 75 at Chicago. Day 1, today and tonight. Thunderstorms. There is an extreme risk of thunderstorms and severe weather across the Detroit area. All modes of severe weather will exist throughout tonight and early morning, with destructive winds, destructive hail, and long-track tornadoes across the area. The earliest time frame for tornadoes is expected to begin at around 10:30 p.m., as an area of low pressure located in Wisconsin is expected to move down east at a rapid rate. Flooding. There is an extreme risk of major rises in water and flash flooding in the coverage area throughout tonight, with a potential of 3 to 5 inches along areas near the Detroit River. Days 2 through 7. Tuesday through Sunday. The National Weather Service has issued Tornado Watch number 124, effective until 11:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. This watch includes the following counties in Michigan: Monroe, Wayne, Washtenaw, Livingston, Oakland, Macomb, St. Clair, Lapeer. Remember, a tornado watch means that conditions are likely for the development for severe weather, including tornadoes, damaging winds, and damaging hail in or near the watch area. While severe weather may not be imminent, persons should remain alert for rapidly changing weather conditions and should listen for upcoming weather statements and possible warnings. Stay tuned to NOAA Weather Radio, other commercial radio, or television outlets for the latest severe weather information. The National Weather Service has issued
For $64, a professional instructor will take you for a 3-hour
The National Weather Service has issued severe thunderstorm watch number 109, effective until 4 p.m. Central Daylight Time. This watch includes the following counties in Illinois: Cook, DuPage, Will, Kendall, and Kane. Remember that a severe thunderstorm watch means that conditions are favorable for the development of severe weather, including large hail and damaging winds in or near the watch area. While severe weather may not be imminent, persons should be alert for rapidly changing weather conditions and should listen for later statements and possible warnings. Stay tuned to local weather radio, commercial radio, or television outlets for the latest severe weather information. The National Weather Service in Grand Rapids has issued a tornado watch for the following counties in Michigan: Kent, Ottawa, Muskegon, Newego. Effective this Friday afternoon and evening from 12:03 p.m. until 4 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Primary threats include sea tornadoes possible in the area. Scattered large hail and isolated very large events to 2 inches in diameter possible. Scattered damaging wind gusts to 70 miles per hour possible. Summary. Strong to severe storms will gradually increase from central Michigan through southwestern Ontario this afternoon and night. Large hail, damaging winds, and a few tornadoes may be possible with this storm. Remember, a tornado watch means conditions are favorable for severe weather, including tornadoes. Persons in these areas should be on the lookout for threatening weather conditions and listen to NOAA weather radio, commercial weather radio, or television outlets for the latest severe weather information.
I found a sandwich in one of your parks, and I want to know why.
The National Weather Service in Detroit, Michigan has issued a tornado warning for northeastern Oakland County in eastern Michigan and northwestern Macomb County in eastern Michigan effective until 8:04 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 7:03 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado is located 2 miles east of Inlay City, moving east-southeast at 32 miles per hour. Expected hazards include the tornado and half-dollar-sized hail. This is a radar-indicated threat of rotation. The following impacts are expected. Flying debris may be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roof, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely. Take cover now. Move to a storm shelter, safe room, basement, or interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows at all costs. If you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris. Stay updated to NOAA weather radio, commercial radio, or internet sources for the latest updates.
Hey everybody, I have some wonderful news. As leader of
Event type is tornado. For Windsor, LaSalle, Tecumseh, Amherstburg, and Essex. Environment Canada meteorologists are tracking a severe thunderstorm that may possibly produce a tornado. Major winds, large hail, and power outages may occur with this storm. The storm was located 2 miles south of Windsor, and moving east at 25 miles per hour. Take cover when threatening weather approaches. Please stay updated to further updates to this alert.
There were also reports of half-dollar-sized hail in the downtown Detroit area, so you should keep in mind even if you are not in the path of this storm. You should be inside in case of large hail impacting and damaging winds occurring. If a tornado warning expands further and into the Detroit metro area, you should be prepared for this by being in an interior room on the lowest floor of a building. The tornado in northern Macomb County has been tracking eastward and is growing increasingly violent. Oh wow, from what it appears on Doppler radar, there is a tornado warning in effect for Easton Hillside and Lenawee County. And I think that more tornado warnings may be put into effect because conditions are just so favorable for the development of violent tornadoes. There's also the strong
eastern Michigan and Lenawee County in eastern Michigan until 11:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 9:25 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, a large and extremely dangerous tornado was located 7 miles north of Medina, moving northeast-east at 45 miles per hour. Hazard: large tornado and golf ball-sized hail. Impact: flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be damaged or destroyed. Damage to roofs, windows, and vehicles will occur. Tree damage is likely, as well as widespread power outages. This tornadic thunderstorm will remain over Lenawee County and parts of eastern Hillside County. To repeat, a tornado is on the ground. Take cover now. Move to a basement or an interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building. Avoid windows. If you are outdoors, in a mobile home, or in a vehicle, move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from flying debris.
Well, it looks like the emergency alert system was activated there for a minute. So there is a tornado on the ground spotted in Lenawee County near Madison and Dover. Like I said before, there is a high chance for more violent storms and tornadoes to occur this evening. If you are in these counties, you should get to your safe location now, including the neighboring areas such as the downtown Detroit area and other nearby counties. We highly urge you to keep a close lookout for tornadoes in this area. At the moment, the two tornadoes that are on the ground are only offsetting rural areas, but it looks like the one south may hit the city of Tecumseh, and could possibly affect areas of Ann Arbor in around 50 minutes. And it's showing.
Drugs, we know nothing other than she's smoking like a crazy.
Event type is a tornado. For North and Northwest Central Essex in Southwest Ontario, including the city of Windsor effective until 12 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Meteorologists here and in Detroit were tracking severe storms west and southwest of the city of Detroit that are approaching the Detroit metropolitan area, moving at around 46 kilometers per hour. This storm may cause damage to the city of Windsor with powerful winds with gusts up to 112 kilometers per hour, as well as flooding in the area. All peoples of Essex County, and especially in Windsor, are urged to seek shelter now.
Religion guessed about 5%, except for Doug Forsett. One night he got high on mushrooms and got like 92%.
Tornado emergency for Ann Arbor. A tornado warning remains in effect now, extended until 3 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. At 11:03 p.m., a large and extremely dangerous tornado was observed 2 miles east of Lima Center, moving east at 40 miles per hour. Tornado emergency for Ann Arbor. This is a particularly dangerous situation. Take cover now. Hazard: deadly tornado and hail 2 inches in diameter. Source: radar. A large debris signature estimated that the tornado was around 2.3 miles in diameter. In fact, you are in an extremely dangerous situation. Flying debris will be dangerous to those caught without shelter. Mobile homes will be destroyed. Considerable damage to homes, businesses, and vehicles is likely, with complete destruction possible. The tornado will be near Delhi Mills, now Carytown, Angel and Kings at around 11:29 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Matt Funny and Thunder around 11:42 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. and Green Oaks and Canton at around 12:03 p.m. Other areas that will be affected by this tornadic thunderstorm include Ypsilanti, Willow Run, Van Buren, and Livonia. Extremely dangerous and possible.
Let's just head over to Taylor Troy on the phone, who is on the scene in Ann Arbor. So what's the damage?
It's absolutely terrible. I've never seen something just so terrible in all of my life. So around 28 minutes ago the tornado came through where I was standing. And it's around half an hour later and there is still light debris falling from the sky. I'm currently in my car because it's pretty dangerous out there. The rain's coming down pretty hard, as well as the hail. Search and rescue teams cannot conduct any services at this time, from what I'm seeing. There's massive piles of rubble blocking homes and roads. From what I've been hearing from the National Weather Service, this could be a potential mass casualty situation, judging by what's happening in Ann Arbor right now. We are currently advising people in the South and Central Detroit metropolitan area to shelter in a basement or interior room. From what I've been hearing also, there have been multiple safe rooms in Ann Arbor and Ypsilanti collapsing and being destroyed, and the worst news I've heard today from this monstrous storm is that it is going to be hitting the downtown Detroit area as well as the Windsor area. Around me, again it just looks completely destroyed. It looks like a nuclear bomb was dropped on the city.
Are there any signs of casualties at the moment?
I wasn't able to find any sources that were able to find how many casualties took place. But it just seems like it may be in the hundreds.
That is definitely not the news we wanted to hear. Alright, I'm being told that we have an image of this tornado, and I will put it on screen just outside of Ann Arbor. Wow, it feels like this is as worse as it's gonna get. All areas near Windsor and Detroit should seek shelter. Again, this is what the sky camera outside of Ann Arbor caught while we were talking to Taylor Troy a few minutes ago. It looks like this thing is pretty close to our studios in the downtown area, so I think we should get to shelter. We're going to be headed downstairs now. All residents should not evacuate, but seek a shelter in the lower part of your home or place of shelter. Just make sure to do whatever you can to protect yourself.
Let's go.
Ignore that, just move
Hurry
it.
up.
Tornado emergency for the Detroit metropolitan area. Widespread and devastating damage is expected. This is a life or death situation and is most likely a mass casualty situation. A tornado warning remains in effect until 1 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time for Wayne, Washtenaw, Lenawee, and Wayne counties. At 11:57 p.m., an extremely large and incredibly violent and destructive tornado was reversing in the southwestern section of the Detroit metro area, moving east at 36 miles per hour. This is a life-threatening and likely cataclysmic situation. You can expect a deadly tornado. A tornado has been confirmed by trained weather spotters and the public. At around 11:20 p.m., reports of destruction in Ann Arbor was reported and other reports of life-threatening injuries and fatalities previously affected by this tornado. In addition, this tornado's width is around 2.8 miles wide, with winds confirmed to be over 300 miles per hour at this time. The following impacts are expected for the Detroit metro area as well as other nearby areas including Windsor. You are in a life-threatening situation and is likely that you will face almost certain death if you are not underground or in a tornado shelter. Homes, buildings, as well as any above-ground structures, including vehicles, will be decimated upon impact. Fire, medical, and police services are advised to be prepared for mass reports of severe life-threatening injuries and for a large-scale operation of search and rescue and recovery. Recovery services are authorized to gather backup from other areas in the state due to this unprecedented storm. Mass devastation has already occurred in nearby areas and will continue in the Detroit metro area. Debris will block most, if not all, roadways. Residents in these areas, including the Detroit and Windsor metro area, are ordered to protect themselves as the tornado has been reported to be near the downtown Detroit area and may impact in the next 15 minutes. Again, all residents of the Detroit metro area should not delay and should seek shelter now. This is a severe
Residents of the city of Windsor, you are highly urged to seek shelter now. The tornado that was measuring almost 5 kilometers in length has caused major damage to the city of Detroit and is now in the city of Windsor. This is an extremely dangerous situation and is considered a mass casualty situation. Seek an underground shelter now, as mass destruction may be possible in the city and nearby areas. The tornado is expected to
The following message is transmitted at the request of the Emergency Management Agency in Wayne, Washtenaw, Oakland, and Monroe counties. Widespread damage has been reported in the Detroit metropolitan area, including the city of Ann Arbor, due to an extremely large tornado that impacted the area earlier today. In the worst of areas, foundations are reported to be scollared, large buildings have suffered complete collapse, roads have been cleaned of asphalt, and power lines have been ripped beyond recognition. Most if not all roads have been deemed impassable due to large piles of debris blocking the way. Other reports of debris impacting bridges and overpasses have been reported, causing them to collapse. If you are in need of emergency services may not be available at this time. Additionally, reports of people being trapped in safe rooms have been reported due to them collapsing or suffering major damage from the tornado. If you require emergency services, do not leave your shelter at this time. The National Guard is currently en route to help those who are in need of help in areas in the Detroit metro area, as well as the cities of Ann Arbor, Michigan, and the greater Windsor, Ontario area. Leave all 911 calls for emergency use only. If you are outside of areas affected by the storm, do not leave or head into the affected areas unless told by National Guard officials or civil authorities. This station will be heading off the air until further notice.
Residents of Windsor, reports of cataclysmic destruction has occurred in the greater Windsor area and Detroit area from an absolutely horrific tornado that tore through the area. At this time, buildings in the Windsor area have been reduced to almost near nothing, along with any vehicles, homes, and businesses in this area. Ground scouring has also been reported, with sections of roads missing and large holes from flying debris in the soil. A majority of the metro area is currently without power at this time, due to most power lines being unable to be found. And most disturbingly, reports of storm shelters collapsing or giving way have been reported in the cities of Los Angeles and Essex, where the tornado was most powerful at. Anyone in the Windsor area is advised to wait in their shelter for emergency officials. Do not wander outside for any reason, even if you are able to. It is unknown how long it will take for a search and rescue operation to take place. It is also unknown how many deaths have occurred from this situation. No other information can be given or released at this time. Please stay tuned to further updates to this alert.
Just want to say thank you to the Storm team at Channel 7 for their amazing coverage. Given our current coverage, details of the damage and casualties have been unknown for the most part, but it's estimated that the death toll could be in the hundreds. We still have one of our correspondents that was in Ann Arbor a few hours ago and was able to reach just outside the downtown Detroit area. How are you down there?
Oh, it's pretty bad from here. To my left there was an apartment complex that was just ripped out, and there is just nothing left of it anymore. It was hard enough getting over here, but we were able to reach here in West Detroit on Tatum Street. There's just nothing left here, not even human life. This was an area that emergency personnel cannot get to because of how much debris is here blocking the roads. There has been disturbing news that people have been stuck in safe rooms, and in some cases, safe rooms have collapsed in certain areas.
Do we know anything about casualties?
No, not at the current moment, but it could be in the hundreds. It's just so terrible. We expect this number to skyrocket in the next hours and into this morning. The damage here is just in an unspeakable amount. The road next to me has been torn off, and there's no sidewalks, no signs, and no foundations. There's dirt everywhere, and some soil near me has a giant dent in it.
Residents who have jobs in Detroit that includes almost half of the population in the greater Windsor area are most likely not going to get to the location they work at.
Well, that is true, and the Detroit Police Department is looking for alternatives to that.